One, two, three. All right. Good afternoon. How's everyone doing today? Can you believe it's summertime already? It's warm out there, so it feels good. It's about time because we had that June gloom a little bit, right? A little overcast, and now we have a little bit of sun, a little bit of heat. So, and we live in such an amazing area, South Bay, right, where we have the local beaches, and then obviously hills up behind us where we can do some hiking as well. So, thank you very much for being on today's team meeting. We have a lot of great information to provide you, great context. So, are you guys all ready? Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Next slide. Thank you very much. So you know how we do it here at South Bay with our mission, our beliefs, and our values to provide agents with a place where they will be empowered, trained, and motivated to experience growth, wealth, and a legacy that allows them to live their best life possible. Our belief, when the values of your own company align with your own beliefs, you know you found your professional home. And our vision to achieve amazing professionals and personal development so that KW South Bay remains the agency of excellence. Absolutely. Give yourselves a round of applause, as I always say. I truly value all of you. So thank you very, very much. All right, let's continue. Next slide. All right, I wanted to just share. Thank you, Natalie. Last week we had our little dad's Father's Day group chill and closing deals. We were literally flipping burgers. I actually burned my eyelids, I think. You know, that fire got so intense that I literally went, and then I was like, wait a minute, I think I literally lost my eyelashes. But it was a really bad week. We had great company. And I think at the end, we flipped probably around 50 burgers, you know, so if you miss it, it's okay. We'll probably have another one. But it was such a great time in the back. We had it all dialed in. And, you know, thanks again to the staff for making it happen as well. So let's give the staff a round of applause. Lola, Stephanie, Natalie, who were there, you know, in the trenches helping me set up as well. My job was easy. My job was just to go in there and just flip the burgers, and that was it. The rest was the stuff. So, thank you. You know, I made it with love for sure. But yeah, again, you know, please just thank our staff, because again, without them, I cannot do my job as well. So I really heavily lean on them with everything here in the office. And this is why I believe this office is amazing, because of them. So again, let's give them a round of applause on that. And even Manny had a burger. So he said, you know, the burger was really good. So I guess I can start, and I qualify to be a burger flipper. So, go to In-N-Out now, right? I can do it. All right, now let's continue. Now, the next one, I'm super excited. Yes. You know, it's overdue. And, you know, big years, and I'm pushing 12 years with this office. We've never won the championship, and we played consistently. We've been close, but not close enough, right? Last Friday, we did it. We became champions for the first time in the KW history. We took the final. So, you know, again, amazing players that, you know, through the trenches, the dedications, the practices, and their drive, you know, and I'm talking about Brian, who is on vacation in Hawaii, and Sammy, and all of the rest, Andrew and Daniel from the PV, who really put this team together. And that commitment and that driving force that I saw, I could see it. They were not going to lose. And the first game, easy breezy, we won. The second,
1 second.
yes,
Okay, come on, you guys. Come on.
yes.
And next slide. Next slide.
Yeah, make a wish. There we go. There we go. Wow, that's awesome.
Beautiful. Oh, God. Thank you. Yes. There it is. See, this guy. This does not look like me anymore. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. My birthday is this Saturday, the first day of summer, June 21st. Thank you very much. This really means a lot. It really touches me, so it's such an amazing office and just great energy with you. So thank you very much for my birthday wishes. So thank you. And it's a big cake. So please make sure they eat a lot of cake. So going back, if you could go back on that to the King of the Hill. So again, I got to give credit where credit is due. The team pulled it off. We won the first game, the second game, and the third game, and then we lost. We lost the fourth game, but then we ended up winning on the finals. But the same team that we lost, we ended up winning the championship. So the cool thing is, next Tuesday, we're going to be up at PV. They're going to give us the actual trophy with our engravement that we are the 2025 King of the Hill champion. So I'm super excited. We get to keep it for a whole year. We're going to rotate it amongst the three offices. So it'll be at the Torrance office, at the PV office, and then it'll get shipped out to the Long Beach because there was members of the team with all three offices that were also playing. So I want to say I'm going to keep it here for us for 12 consecutive months till May of next year, June of next year, I should say. But the truth of the matter, it was not just the South Bay office. It was all three offices, and also the Valley office. We had some players from the Valley office too that came all the way from the Valley to come in and support the team. So it'll probably be shared with all four offices, to be quite honest with you. But that's why it was called KW Shares, not KW South Bay, like KW Shares. So congratulations to the team. We did it. So yeah, we're super excited. And we saw some amazing players like Jocelyn. She hit a couple and she ran. And because of her and the rest of the team, we were able to win the championship. So again, congratulations to the 18th annual King of the Hill KW champions. So awesome. So it was next door, which is no longer Remax. It was Rise. It was Compass. It was Vista Sotheby's. There was a couple that were eliminated, so we didn't get a chance to play. But we're going to show you the actual tournament so you can see how it all trickled down to the very end. But that'll be next week once we actually have the trophy, so you can actually see it's this big monster of a trophy that we're going to share with all of you. So, okay. Thoughts, questions, concerns? Awesome. All right, let's continue. Next slide. All right, we'd like to welcome our newest agents to the office. So we have Mimi Myatt, Vivian Goldberg, Tanisha Reddy. I love that. Ready or not? When she told me that her last name was Reddy, I said, "Yeah, I'm ready too." She goes, "Last name is Reddy." Is Tanisha here? Is anyone up here? Maybe I know Claudia's with, yeah, I know Claudia's right now with Vanessa. Claudia, full of energy. She has a background in sales. She's in the rental industry for many, many years. So she came in with full of energy, eager to learn, and she's going to be a great addition to this amazing office. So congratulations to all of the newest agents of the KW South Bay office. So let's give them a round of applause. All right, let's continue. Next slide, please. All right, I want to introduce our guest speaker, Lauren. She is the executive accountant for Zoom Casa. So Lauren, come on in. Why, yes.
Well, how are you?
You want to be right center stage.
Okay. I know you'll call Gary, but that's just why I didn't call you back. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lauren McCarroll. I'm the account executive for Zoom Casa, and we power the KW Concierge program.
You have slides, right?
I do.
Yeah. All right, Natalie, next slide. Yeah,
Okay.
just
So yes, if you're not familiar, the KW Concierge program has pre-sale home prep, which is when we cover the cost of any renovations or improvements, minor or major, to the property. We pay the vendors directly, and then we're reimbursed upon the closing of escrow. So this is for listings that may not be on the market yet, that need to have some TLC, or if it's under contract and there are some buyer concessions that you might be facing, we can remedy those. Anything that comes up in an inspection report, anything tied directly to the property, we can take care of. So staging, landscaping, interior, exterior painting, pool repair, termite remediation, we can pretty much do it all as long as the sellers have enough equity. That's going to be our biggest qualifying factor. And then next slide, please. Just a little bit about the process. It's actually really simple for you to submit. As long as you have the listing, you can submit it through a portal. You put in your information and the information about the property. Again, all they ask about the seller is the mortgage payoff. You will need to know that information. From there, it's going to go through a brief underwriting process. We'll pull title. We'll make sure that the seller will qualify. But then that's also how we set the cap about how much we'll cover upfront. And then from there, it's assigned to one of our incredible project managers. They'll contact you directly, and then they'll discuss vendors, timelines, scope of work. We have licensed and insured vendors that you're more than welcome to use. But if you have your favorite painter or landscaper, as long as they're licensed and insured, or stager, we can use them as well. And so the project manager will get the bids from the vendors. They'll put them together in a completely itemized proposal for your seller. And then as soon as the seller approves, work can get started. A few notes: the seller has sole discretion over any work that's done. They control the budget, they control the work. So even if we present a proposal with 20 items, if they want to scale back to 10, that's perfectly fine. Up to that point, if they decide they don't want to do anything at all, that's perfectly fine too, and they still haven't incurred costs. So that's our pre-sale home prep. Next slide, please. I do have a couple of, oh yes, this is the landing page for when you would go to submit for pre-sale home prep. Again, it's mostly information about the property and then your contact information. Any information you don't have, it's okay. It's just to get the process started, so don't worry about that. Next slide, please. And these are some before and afters that we had a property out of this office on Grant Avenue. You can see a little goes a long way. We just took out that little island, opened the space up, did some painting. Next slide, please. And this is the same house, just a bedroom. Again, we were fortunate that the sellers were out of the property, but we can, depending on the scope of work around the sellers. Next slide, please. And then if you have some really extensive renovation needs, this is a gift, it's not moving, but it's okay. We can do it all. So with this property, we did almost a complete gut. Yes. And the reason we were able to do that is because it was vacant due to our instant cash offer. So we have a cash offer plus program that's formerly known as Forward. Is anybody familiar with the Forward program? Gary, I need Gary here. Gary's familiar with the Forward program. He has actually had a couple of deals with us.
He's coming.
Yeah.
Here we go.
We're talking about the Forward program. Okay, next slide, please. So with Instant, our Cash Offer Plus program is really designed to do a few things. One, it protects you from losing a listing to an investor. We don't want you to lose the listing. With our Instant Cash Offer Plus. You'll be able to keep the listing and then represent us on the resale. But when it comes to your sellers specifically, it enables them to be non-contingent when they're making offers on a new purchase. They're able to clear and prove their DTI to be qualified for the mortgage on a new purchase. And then most importantly, for some, they're out of the property through any open houses, showings. If you have families with children and dogs, you know how that can be difficult for both you and them. So the Cash Offer Plus will get them out of the property so that we can get the property spruced up and sold as quickly as possible. Next
Excuse
slide.
me.
Yes, ma'am.
When you say you get them out of the property, where do you put them?
Well, they're moving on to their new purchase. We're gonna help them move, we don't put them anywhere. Yeah. And I'm gonna get to that really shortly. So, when we think about.
We put them in a mobile home.
I mean, honestly, though, if we need to, we will facilitate an Airbnb or a long-term rental service for them. We can. We have in the past. That's a great question, though. So when we think about what's a good fit for Cash Offer Plus, you think about stale listings that have maybe been on the market because you know that they're dated or they have deferred maintenance, but maybe the seller is not on board with doing those renovations, especially being in the property. Again, we get them out, we get the property renovated and sold. Estate sales, because they're able to get a chunk of the equity out quickly, that usually satisfies them. And then we still will put it back on the market as is, or we'll do the renovations. Pre-foreclosures. If you have a seller that's in pre-foreclosure, they have an auction date, we can close in about 15 to 21 days. So we can close quickly, all cash, and then they're not losing all of their equity, leaving that equity on the table. Sellers moving out of state, that was specifically popular with this office. We had quite a few sellers who were actually elderly, moving to Texas, moving to Florida. They had great equity. They'd had these homes in the area for 30 years. We were able to give them the chunk of their equity out, renovate it, and they get the upside, less the cost. So, and last but not least, my favorite, when agents call me because they have a client who's under contract on a new purchase and they had a buyer for the departing residents, but at the last minute, they can't perform due to whatever, their financing didn't come through. So now your client is at risk of losing out on the home of their dreams. Call me, I'll buy the property, we'll Zoom costs a little. And then that way they're able to perform on the new purchase and give the current property a little more time to sell. So those are situations where I found that Cash Offer Plus is a good fit. Yes?
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
So in the events, who does Zoom Casa use as an agent to leave us to sell the property when they're ready to do that?
You.
Okay, great.
That's what I'm saying. You keep the
Okay,
listing.
that I wasn't-
Absolutely, yeah. So we're gonna get to that. Next slide, please.
Excuse me.
Yes.
How much equity they need to have before they could qualify for that solution?
That's a good question. Unfortunately, I don't have a straight answer for that. It depends on a couple of variables. Are we doing renovations? If so, they would need to have enough equity to be clear in the first transaction, less the renovation reserve. Also, depending on the saleability, if it's a tough location, if it's gonna be hard for it to get insured, like there are a couple of factors. I will say in Southern California, I'm averaging 65 to 70% equity. Yes, ma'am. So yeah, this is a bit about the process. We purchase the property from your client, give them the 60 to 80%. I'll be honest with you, I'm not saying 80% at all anymore, just because everyone's getting a little bit more conservative. We stick around 70%. But then again, we close, take title, they get the first set of proceeds. We'll remodel the home if need be. If there's no need, we'll relist it as is. And then once it sells on the open market, your seller gets the remaining equity because they left that 30% on the table, plus the upside minus the cost. And then that's when you receive your commission, we get our fee, and then everyone's happy. Next slide, please. So this is an example of the proposal that I would send you, but this is how we're able to see what the seller would net in each transaction, keeping in mind there are 2 transactions. So for my example, the home that we're purchasing is valued as is at $1 million, and the sellers have a $350,000 mortgage payoff. We come in, we give them the 70% of that 1 million. Their mortgage payoff is cleared. They want to do $40,000 worth of work, so we hold that in a reserve. And then closing costs are deducted, which is title and escrow fees, and then they net the rents. So depending on their price point, they have a substantial down payment on the new purchase, or if they're going to travel the world, they have $300,000 to do so. At that point, we've done the renovations, we list the property with you for, $1,075,000. The seller actually gets to set the listing price. After the agent's commissions are deducted, the second set of closing costs, and then our fees, we repay the initial advance, but they're happily settled into their new purchase and we just wired them the remaining proceeds. So we've done all the heavy lifting of the renovations, the open houses, the showings, and we just wired them the remaining funds. Next slide,
Okay,
please.
since it's cash, why would you be taking the renovation from the seller?
Because they pay for the renovations.
But
That's why they have total control.
Oh, that's before.
And we just hold it in a reserve. Years ago, we used to take it from the resale, but now we're taking it from the first transaction. So this is one of our success stories. It's in Woodland Hills, my neighborhood. It's a beautiful home. It was a great location. It was just very dated. It needed a lot of work. And the seller was in a pickle because his mother was very sick. He needed to move to Minnesota quickly. So he was going to sell to an investor at like 70% of the value and leave all of that equity on the table. We came in, we purchased the property for him. I think we did 65%. We did a lot of work, about $230,000 worth of work. Completely did the outside, and that was his profit. He got an additional $200,000 or almost $150,000 after the costs. So when the circumstances are right, and if there is an opportunity to increase the value with renovations, that's when I'm seeing the biggest profit margin for the sellers. Next slide, please. And this is another big one that we did, Victoria Avenue. Property hadn't been touched since the 70s. It was a property that was inherited, 100% equity. It just needed a lot of work. It was a great location, but because it was vacant and, we were able to bring in our vendors, it was about a 6-month process. It was a painstaking process, but it wasn't on the seller, it was on us. And it was able to sell for about 1.7 million. Next slide, please. So traditionally, we have always had our platform where we could submit for pre-sale home prep, but now we have a platform to make it easier for you to get the cash offer plus proposals or to get an instant cash offer from us. So I have QR codes to take you to both of the sites, but this is just kind of what you would see when you log into the cash offer plus platform. All I need is the property address, the information about the mortgage payoff, if we're doing renovations, the agent's commissions, and from there, I can underwrite the property and get the proposal to you pretty quickly. Next slide, please. Last but not least, so the QR code on the left is going to take you to the Cash Offer Plus platform. You're going to need to put in a code. The code is just Zoom, ZOOM, and then LM, which are my initials. And then for pre-sale home prep, you're going to want to scan this QR code. It's also just zoomcasa.com/new-listing for your pre-sale home prep needs. This is my direct contact information. You can always call or text me. I do Zoom meetings, I do trainings with agents. If you need me to talk to the sellers, I absolutely will. And I look forward to working with you all soon. So do you have time for questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Any questions? This was a great platform. This is a great opportunity to ask Lawrence questions. Yes.
So I know a while back, you guys used to, design, if I was sending my headshot, you guys would create a flyer for me. Do you guys still do that?
I mean, I could, yes.
Good,
But
okay,
it's not something that we offer anymore as a service.
okay.
Yeah. But we like our KW agents, so we
Okay.
tend to make you happy, try to make you happy. Any other questions?
You have your own contractors?
We do,
Okay.
we do.
And as little as handyman all the way, and there's a minimum that the job needs to be.
Okay, great question. Yes, we have our own vendors for pretty much everything. If we don't, we just source local vendors. That's the job of the project manager. Our minimum fee is going to be $750. So even if the vendor cost is $100, we would have to add that fee. So our minimum is $750. Any other questions?
Now, I'm assuming that the contractors you use or the vendors are licensed, bonded. And does that also include permits pulled by the city if need be?
Yes. We do all of that. And again, like I said, we can use your vendors, your stagers, your painters, they just have to be licensed and insured. The stagers don't have to be licensed, but everyone else, yes. Yes.
What is your price for staging? Is that based on square footage or? Okay.
Based on square footage, partial, complete staging, the terms, it kind of varies. Yeah. Yes,
On the resale home prep for the cash out portion, did you say that was 70% of the appraised value, 70% of the equity? If so, it was $1 million home with 300,000 loan balance,
Mhm.
is it 70% of $1 million for 700,000 loan, or 70% of 700,000 being the equity though?
70% of the appraised value. So if it appraises for $1 million, we give you the 700,000. From there, that 300,000 mortgage payoff is cleared.
Wow, so that's virtually 100% encumbrance at
It's
that.
like a bridge loan, and the beauty of it is that they still have the opportunity to get that money on the resale transaction. With an investor, they wouldn't be able to.
That's dark good.
I would think so too.
And this platform is also on our kwhub.com, on our resource hub, where you can also go there and get a little bit more information. But take a photo of this, folks. I mean, this is good information to have, and Lauren, it's just a phone call away if you have any additional questions for her.
Absolutely.
Who decides how much work needs to go to any property?
That's a great question. It's kind of a fluid conversation. The seller for cosmetic needs, inspection needs, we will kind of mandate any repairs if there are any red flags that come up. Mhm. There's one in there.
Do you trust them, Bill?
Yes.
Okay.
What was the question?
Do we do trust sales?
Trust sales, and the answer is yes, right?
Yes.
So you do an inspection first?
Well, we go under contract first, using, if the property is listed, we'll use the list price, or we use your agent evaluation of what you think the property is worth. But after we get the signed contract, we do order the appraisal and the inspection, yes.
So you mentioned it's like a bridge loan, so it is a bridge loan?
It's not a bridge loan because we're actually purchasing the property and taking title. Yes.
Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes, Michelle.
What happens if property doesn't sell?
My favorite question. So that's it. The property will ultimately sell. It's just a matter of what it will sell for and how long, because we do have a carrying cost that accrues the duration we own the property. So we don't want to hold the property longer than we have to. Now, we do have price reductions, a price reduction schedule in our contract. So after the first 30 days, we reserve the right to decrease the list price by 2% thereafter. We don't always do it.
That's new, huh?
No, that's been the same.
Really? Cool.
And so worst case scenario, if the property grossly undersells and the seller does not get a second check and they can't pay our fee, we cover our fee, we just eat it.
What happens if the seller cancels the listing?
At that, they can't. Because we own the property. So,
That's a question.
yeah, it's a good question, I have to think about it, yeah, but no,
So
And
it's
that-
a guaranteed site.
yeah. Yes,
So basically, you guys would have a lien on the property?
no. We just have a contract, we don't put a lien on the property. Because we purchased it, so we're the owners, so there's no need to put a lien on it, and we're taking the rental cost from the first transaction.
We have, I'm sorry, 1 second, we have someone on Zoom that had a question, something, let's see, not the happy
Condo.
birthday. Would you buy a condo that is tenant occupied?
We would, and maybe at a lower advance, yes, or in the past, we have offered cash for keys to have it be delivered vacant.
Okay. Ferry, you had a question? She forgot, all right. Okay. Anyone else? Great questions, great questions.
If you have a property and you just do the fixing and so forth, but it's not, you haven't bought it.
Yes,
So the clients will put it on the market and then like his question, what about they cancel at that time? How do you get your money back?
so with pre-sale home prep, we do have a separate contract that is kind of tied to your listing agreement. Again, they don't have access to our program without you. Now, if we've done the work and the property is listed and they take it off the market or break the listing agreement with you, they have to pay us back what we spend immediately. So,
I remember my question.
Yes.
First of all, is it similar to Compass program?
that you guys, are you doing the same for Compass?
Well, Compass Concierge is their own entity, but they do come to us for cash offer plus.
I see, okay.
Any other questions? Yes.
There are min or max on the properties?
That's a great question. My minimum is $350,000. My max is about 3.5. I can go up to 4, but it would be at a little advance.
Very good. A lot of questions, surprisingly. Good questions.
Thank you
All
all.
right, well, thank you, Lauren. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I hope that we're gonna take a photo of that, right?
Yeah.
Because I know what's gonna happen. Simon, can you get information of that individual that came and talked about renovations? I know it already. So. Listing pictures, buyer needs and wants. Anything you would like to pitch? Coming soon, Steve.
I got a list in North Florence coming up, I'm not getting the paperwork signed, I believe this afternoon. It's
Nice.
a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in North Florence, grandma lives there, okay, so, grid price, 879,000, 1,200 square feet, nice neighborhood. I can't give the address out until the actual paperwork is signed, but I was the listing agent on the house 25 years
Oh,
ago.
wow. Yeah, congratulations.
879.
879. Beautiful, beautiful, awesome. Sarah.
1,200.
Things coming up, one in Long Beach, 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Yeah.
1,300 square feet with two-car attached. Coming in August, end of August, on one high-rise condo in Marina Del Rey for 1.5 million, 2-bedroom, 2.5-bath, 2,000 square feet.
Beautiful, awesome. Thank you, Farah. Anyone else?
I got a new listing.
All right.
6 Lexington in Hollywood. Right now it's a duplex, but it's an R4 property. It's 7,500 square feet. It's a development, a 7,500 square foot lot. It's a development opportunity. You can build up to 18 units. Right now, Hollywood is on fire. Every second lot.
Literally. Just saying.
There's a lot of new redevelopment money coming in, so
Beautiful,
Gabriella and I are on that listing, so look us up.
beautiful, awesome, congrats.
0.799.
1.799, beautiful.
I have 2 buyer needs, they're looking for 4 units, at least 1 unit delivered vacant up to 1.5. They will pay the seller's closing cost, and it's a 30-day escrow as long as 1 unit is empty and at least it meets the resale for the rentals. So if you have in Los Angeles, all around. I have 2 buyers for 1.5 and 1 for 3 units at 1.2.
I have one, it's on market in Westchester, it's 4 units with 2 over vacant.
Beautiful.
Oh, okay, 1 up to, because my buyer just was looking in Westchester. So can we talk?
No, I don't want to touch it.
So, anyone else? Yes, please.
Have a vacant 3.5 home in Inglewood Lincoln area, it's R2. And has a garage for rentals done about a year and a half ago. And the seller is also including the plans for the approved plans for an ADU because.
So it's 2 and it's a duplex?
No, it's a single family. ADU that was unpermitted, but she has the plans that are approved and permitted. But when it was built, they didn't do everything just according to the plan.
Got it,
But she's including all that.
got it, got it. Okay, cool. What's the asking price?
9.8.
920. Okay, cool. Anyone else? All right, let's continue. So speaking of market, next slide, please. We have our exclusive access to KW coming soon by the listing submission form. I know we've been pitching it, but just a quick reminder that with the changes of CRMLS and to be in compliance with clear cooperation policies, things are changing for the good, in my opinion, okay? I know there was a lot of confusion and a lot of, here and there and how everything planted out last year around this time in August. But this is again a great opportunity to share those potential market deals internally, meaning you're sharing this amongst our peers, our colleagues, right? So if you haven't had an opportunity, if you do have something that you'd like to share amongst the agents, this is a great platform to have. Any questions? Okay, so let's get so excited. So is he's been in the industry for a very, 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 very long time, longer than I have. But he's not just a real estate professional, but he's also a licensed appraiser. And he saved me on one of my deals that I had, and I needed his guidance, his support, years of experience, and we were able to get the appraised value that ultimately was allowed me to refinance a property that I have. So without further ado, Mr. Mark Hearn, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay, thanks for letting me speak today. I'm a commercial agent on Michelle Brown's team.
Yeah.
What is this?
That's the mic.
I can hear you on there.
I don't need a mic. Here. Let's do this.
Thank you. Here. Okay. But I started in 2014 at South Bay, but I got my license in 1986. I also started as a real estate appraiser in 86. Worked for Home Savings, and then we got bought by Washington Mutual. I was chief appraiser there. I was went through the Rodney King riots. I went through the OJ trial. I went through the 1986 earthquake. So I've seen a little bit of real estate over the years. But what I wanted to share with you is a recent story. I was hired to appraise, to represent the homeowner in front of the Tax Assessment Appeals Board. And they bought a house in Beverlywood next to the golf course. They tore it down. They built a beautiful 3-story new home, and the tax assessor came in at $5 million. And all of her realtors were telling her, it's not, we can't sell it for that. Why would it be assessed at that rate? So she appealed several times and finally got up to, I'm telling you, it's the Judge Judy court. There's 3 people there, and the assessor gave their statement, we gave ours, there was rebuttal. I mean, it was the real deal. But let's go to the next slide. So actually, they had the taxable value at 5.2, and then with my appraisal, they reduced it to 4.3. So I saved her tax assessment by almost $1 million, which translates into about $11,000 a year in reduced tax payments. So the reason I bring this up is that it's an odd situation. It doesn't happen every day, but it gives us as realtors a chance to talk to our client base about something other than, are you going to sell your house? It gives you a chance to, hey, look, one of our agents was able to do this. Do you know anybody that might need that? Or, what's your tax assessment? Are you happy with it? I am. I bought my house in 88. So anyway, that's why I wanted to share that with you. But also, it takes a village to sell a damn house these days. And if you guys ever need any help with coming up with a CMA or coming up with a value for a potential listing, or you're having trouble with an appraisal, I mean, that's kind of, I was a review appraiser and a chief appraiser for many years. And not all appraisers are good appraisers. So you might need a second pair of eyes to look at something. So I have some cards if anybody's interested. Feel free to call me, contact me, email me. My number is 310-245-7715. Can you hear me? All right, that's all I have. Yes, Dorothy.
Questions?
Yeah, so what is the status of the appraisal now? That they being appraised, there is any issue with appraisals right now?
Just pass those out. The de minimis rule has raised, so I need a lender here, but you know, half of my work has now gone away because they don't need an appraisal. As long as the loan to value is appropriate and the credit score and all that. So they just wiped out the need for appraisals, but they still need them. And there's a lot of loan programs out there that are 95, 97, 100%. I've done 300% loan to value. It's called a NACA program.
Yes.
And you know, they're out there, so
They don't ask for appraisal?
they do. Those the high loan to value deals really need an appraisal.
Like 60% down, we don't need to.
Right. That's the de minimis rule kicking in. So anyway, go out and get them. Thanks.
Thank you, Mark. Good example here. So utilize the resources that we have. Again, many years of doing appraisals. He understands the local market, and he can definitely be an advocate for you and your clients as well. So thank you again, Mark, for providing us with that value. Let's continue with next week, guys. Fernando Diaz, the TSG Homes. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you, sir.
Gonna get some skinny people back today on the streets. So here we go. Anyway, guys, real quick, as you guys know or may not know, the Fed finished their meeting and announced no cuts today, as was expected. So they are projecting 2 cuts, probably starting in September and then going into November, December, where we'll see some short-term rate relief. Because don't forget, that's all tied to short-term stuff like HELOCs, car loans, CDs in your banks, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so not a lot in terms of the treasury markets and where rates are really controlled. A lot of the reason why that's going on, obviously, as you guys know, is there's a lot of global instability with wars, also tariffs, and don't forget, the other big one is the big bill. Remember, I told you guys that bill's got to get passed, and it better look pretty to the treasury markets. Otherwise, rate relief may not come that soon. Okay, so we will leave it at that. Now, the May housing report for CAR came out. And I'm going to quiz you guys. What do you guys think the increase in inventory was from May of 24 to May of 25? Percentage statewide?
16.
That was not bad, but not that good. C plus. Not bad. No. How much? 8. No way.
3.
No.
5.
Okay, I'm gonna have to give it to 28. That's not. It's 22.8.
I say that.
Did you say that? Okay, give her right there. Right in front. Right here with the hat.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, so keep that in mind, guys. 22.8% year-over-year increase just month to month in that month. Okay, and there's a lot more coming. I think the June number is going to be humongous, and I think July right now is going to be pretty big. I attended some various meetings this morning and yesterday. Met with a team, a big team around here. I'm not going to say who, but they have 17 listings coming up in the next 10 days. So I just see this big flood coming, which is good. It's going to basically stabilize the market. And I'll tell you right now, guys, I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. A client here in Torrance went in escrow on the house. He was the only offer on the table. He got a $25,000 buy down to do a temporary buy down, like we talked about, right? To give him some rate relief. Right now, they're negotiating somewhere around $40,000 and more credits or price reduction after the inspection. And the seller's going for all of it, because you know what he's got on the table other than this offer? Nothing. So, you know, it's a risk, right? Do you bail out and put it back in the market? And now you have other more homes moving in on you for sale? Or do you just bite the bullet and go here? So these are some of the challenges that, you may face out there. Okay, so be aggressive with your buyers, guys. There's a lot of concessions happening. It benefits them greatly to get that rate down, either whether it's temporary or permanent. Condos again, guys, I've seen more condo problems and issues. If you get a listing on a condo, come see me. I'll have the condo department clear it out and make sure that you guys are in the clear. Okay, because there's a lot of insurance issues and budget issues in some cases, but mostly insurance issues that are popping up that will make your condo no good, no bueno.
Where do you have for that information?
We have to get it all from whoever manages their HOA.
Oh, you can get that?
Yeah, well, we have to get it through you guys. You guys, if it's your listing, you have to put us in contact with them, and they have to cooperate. Yeah, so your
That's
seller,
the key,
you
cooperation.
have to cooperate. Your seller may have to put up $300 or $400 if they want it for the condo cert and all this stuff. But for $300 or $400, at least hey, it's worth it. Right? Do you have a legitimate sale here that can go smooth, or do you have something that's not a moral support? It could be a nightmare. So that's the big difference. And I will tell you that they don't even know 90% of the time that they shifted their insurance and they caused a problem for themselves. No idea. Question?
So as soon as we get the listing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or if you're gonna, you think it's coming, let's just say in the next 5 days,
Yeah,
let's get it out of the way now,
Yeah,
try to
right.
get as much as we can to make sure you're
yeah,
clear.
so that sounds like
Yeah.
important.
And then going back to that gentleman's question about the appraisal thing and all that, so there's a few parameters for that. So we have one that has no appraisal, that just I think Oxford are closing this week. They're putting 30% down. So here's the deal. It typically happens with 20% down or more offers on sales prices that are under $1 million. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are the only ones that allow it. If you're over $1 million, even though you're still doing a Fannie Mae loan, and you're never gonna get a waiver. I don't care how much down you have. So that's one of the things to be careful. They're looking for good credit, good cash reserves, and if they have enough data in that zip coded area and they feel comfortable, it'll do this little check mark, no appraisal required. So that's how that happens, but the sales price has to be under $1 million.
So what else is the requirement for no appraisal?
That's it.
That's
It's just either likes it or doesn't, or if you get, we weren't, in some cases, you weren't getting a lot because remember when we were dogfighting and pushing the values through the roof? Well, it just says, I don't see the data for that to support. So then it'll say, just get an appraisal. It's fine. But yeah.
Can you also, without really pulling the full appraisal, just quickly, like, give us a general idea as to the value of the property? Well, any, you have that.
We have that through title companies and through some other systems, just like you guys have the MLS, right? You guys put it all together the same way.
Right, you have Simon, you can reach out to me all the time like you always.
Yeah, oh yeah, Simon, right, Simon, and happy birthday, sir. Yes. Yes, it's possible. It's possible. Those are case by case. Once again, I go right to the condo department, boom. So we have one right now. That's funny. She called me this morning. She wants to make an FHA offer on a non-FHA approved condo. The listing agents will be here for the time to do it. So that's, if they accept here today, then we're gonna start working on that. I can't guarantee it, but we'll see. See what happens. But it is possible. Anything else?
Awesome.
Yeah, perfect.
All right,
All right. Thank you, guys.
all right, thank you. Okay, next we're gonna be talking about our market stats. So I'm gonna ask all of you, what are you feeling right now in the market? Is it a seller's market? Is it a buyer's market? Is it kind of in the middle?
Buyer's
It's kind of a buyer's market? Okay. So stats obviously don't lie, right? So we're gonna see the stats of what's happening in our local market. Next slide. And I want you to pay attention to the active listings with these individual cities. All right, so the city of El Segundo has 9 new listings, 26 active, 5 pending, 8 closed. Days on average is 11. Your average sales price is 2.155, and your medium is 1975. Next slide. Manhattan.
Wow.
115 active. 48 new listings, 14 pending, closed 31. Your average 23 days. Price per square foot is 1,554. Average sales price is 3.5. Medium sales price is 2.8. Next slide. Hermosa, 55 active listings, 9 new listings, 8 pending, 18 closed. Price per square foot is 1,323. Average sales price is 3.19. Medium is 2.752. Next slide. Redondo Beach, 154 active listings, 36 pending, 60 closed. Days on market 27. Price per square foot is 915. Your average sales price is 1.653. And your medium sales price is 1.540. Are you seeing a trend? Yeah, properties are staying on the market a little longer, right? Than usual, right? So it's leaning towards a buyer's market, meaning that there's more inventory and less buyers buying property. It's not a seller's market as it has been in the last 3 to 4 years, right? When the rates were down. And a lot has to do with the chaos too, not to get into the politics of it, but that could be a lot of the hesitation, right? Interest rates are still a little high. So all that takes into consideration and factor. Hold that thought for 1 minute. Let's continue. Next one. Torrance, 135 new active, 198, new listings 135, active 198, pending 62, closed 80, days on market 31. Price per square foot is 761. Average sales price is 1,118,000. Medium sales price is 1,125. Next slide.
What zip code is that in?
That's all of Torrance. So it's all of Torrance, not just one specific zip code. Lawndale, 12 new listings, 27 active, 6 pending, 8 closed. Average 20 per square foot is 645. 810 is your average. 877 is your medium sales price. Next slide. Hawthorne, 36, 76, 15, 25, 43, 721. Average is 1,018,000. Medium is 1,005,000. Next slide. Gardena, 38, 73, 24, 39, 27, 566. And your average sales price is 713, medium is 740. Next slide. Lomita, 724, 38, 13 days on average. 759 is your average per square foot, and your average sales price is 961. Next slide. Carson, 43 new listings, 70 active, 30 pending. 41 closed, 516 price per square foot. Your average sales price is 783, and your medium is 775. Next slide. Harbor City. Next slide. Palos Verdes. Next slide. Rancho Palos Verdes. Next slide. Rolling Hills Estates. Next slide. San Pedro, 130 active. San Pedro. Wow. Next slide. Okay, thoughts, questions, concerns regarding stats? Yes.
The upside from what I took from that is at least days on market on average, it appeared to be hovering around that 30-day mark, okay, which isn't bad, okay. You know, it just seems after we've had a market, crazy market where, if it's not an escrow in 7 to 10 days, you think what's wrong, but 30 days, within 30 days is not a bad period of time. You would not say, oh my God, we are in a declining market because properties are lingering on the market for months upon months. So,
yeah,
I think what it shows is that pricing is important so that it doesn't linger on the market and provides great ammunition to speak to our sellers about appropriate prices.
Absolutely. You had a question, Joe?
I did, but she asked it, but if I want to get more into detail, like when it comes with the average and the median. But there's a lot of different zip codes and there's a lot of different pricing, depending like Torrance or Redondo.
So what it does, so the stats is based on the city itself, right? And it incorporates not just single family residents, but also condos and townhome as part of this average as well. That's how it calculates your medium and your average price point.
From our.
Now, this is from CRMLS. Yeah, all of the information is from CRMLS, which again, you can coincide with RPR as well too, so. But again, it's education, right? Knowing your local market is important, especially when you're going on a listing appointment, right? You wanna price and list a home accordingly to what's selling. Because we're not in the babysitting market, we're here to sell homes, right? So I think it's crucial and important to constantly be checking the market. Yes, Mark?
We just did an appraisal in Anaheim and they were averaging 80 days on market.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, very
It
interesting.
it can change.
Absolutely. All right, we'll close it off with our coming events. Juneteenth tomorrow, June 19th, the staff will be off, okay? The office will not be closed, but the staff will be off for observance of Juneteenth, okay? So if you need anything, please make sure to get it done today. We'll resume again on Friday, okay? So tomorrow will be a day off for the staff. Next slide. Reminder, we're gonna be talking about contracts on Friday, the 20th. On the BIA, election BIE and BIW. So all of the advisories to get a better understanding and how to approach those conversations with your buyers and also with your sellers. So we'll dissect and really dive deep into the conversation this Friday, 10:30, here in the training room or on Zoom as well. Okay, next slide. Steve Colley, wait, go back. I didn't see that part, go back. Steve Colley, broker for over 40 years. I love it. If you're interested on Thursday, June 26th, 10 a.m. to 11:30. And I'm not sure if this is going to, yeah, in person, my apologies, and also be a Zoom as well. So if you want to learn probate, come to the class and learn, okay? Next slide. And then we have Phil teaching our 1031 exchange. It'll be via Zoom, not in person. So if you're interested, please make sure to take a photo of the QR code. It'll be Thursday, July 17th and 10:30 to 11:30. Next slide. And that concludes our team meeting. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.